Bearcat Bounce podcast. Back at it again. It's Monday. It is Monday. It is new Monday following back-to-back Sundays. Well, a third Sunday if you count yesterday. Sunday. Now Monday, where, to put it lightly, it's going to be a show. It's going to be an absolute show here on the BBP. Tough one on Friday night. Crosstown shootout. It was tough. Bowl game coming up. Not anytime soon. Long time away, but a bowl game coming up. We're going to talk about that. But it's also going to be a Monday where I get to sit down and chat with three of my greatest pals ever. Like just unbelievable human beings, which is why we all will be happy. Beacons of light, as one of the friends said earlier before we came on the pod. So without further ado, Aaron Smith, Chad Brendel, and my man, Ryan Royer. Gentlemen, how are we?
I'm actually, as the owner of the company, I have decided to take a sick day. So you guys are on your own.
All righty, guys. And that is the BBP yet again, presented by BearcatJournal.com. See ya.
Oh, yeah. The dogs are mad. Everybody's mad.
Dogs are American, baby.
Everybody's mad. Yeah, you tell him, Callie. You tell him.
Yep.
Tell him.
I like the aggression. We need some dogs, man.
Yeah. All right. I just kind of disconnected this weekend.
Yeah.
That was the nice part about a Friday game is that Saturday and Sunday then became it's the first weekend without football. We've been going pretty hardcore here for about 6 weeks. So I just disconnected. Had fixed last night, had some Publix has these beef tenderloin tips.
Okay, man.
They look like kind of the stew beef tenderloin, so they're really, really good. So last night I made some of those with the Cajun cream sauce and tortellini. And it was outstanding. So that was the highlight of the weekend.
Wow.
White chicken chili on Saturday. You're muted, Royer, so we can't hear you.
Eat the pain away, man.
Yeah,
nothing fills the cracks in the heart like some Cajun cream. Pause.
I mean, just a great Cajun cream sauce with steak tips and tortellini. The Costco, the 5-cheese tortellini.
Like a Cajun style beef stroganoff.
A little bit, yeah. It was delicious.
Gosh, hey, that's some comfort food, man. I sadly for me, after Friday night, it was a comfort food of the liquid version for the entire weekend for me. So that was quite tasty as well, I guess you can say. But Chad, I'm happy.
We also have big news, guys.
Oh gosh, okay. Yes, here we go.
We are now part of the Believe podcast network.
Wow.
So
time to believe.
The Believe podcast network.
Believe in this basketball team.
Yep.
Just believe in the network, Ryan.
Yes.
Just believing in Bearcat. Right? We're insulating, right? We're hunkering down as a team, as a unit. It will not change anything if you watch on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Everything will pretty much be the same. But if you are a podcast consumer, just like the YouTube folks, you'll get a couple like pre-roll ads throughout the show. But other than that, really won't be changing anything. But we are happy to be a part of the Believe podcast network now.
Wow. That's big time. That is big
Believe.
Time. Shouts to Believe. Are we gonna have a little like some? Oh, there it is.
Oh, they spell it. They spell it different.
Yeah. Aaron was not paying attention.
I'm putting the tweets out.
He's
very angry tonight, folks.
He's putting something out that doesn't exist anymore. A tweet. What is that? Oh my gosh. So
he
so
is very angry.
so
He's cranky
2022 of
tonight.
him. So 2022 of him. Yeah. He's an angry elf, you know.
Show us your mean face, Aaron.
Show us your mean face.
My
big
weekend
dog.
was great, Brent. Thanks for asking and moving this thing along. Jesus Christ.
How are we?
I'm fine. 5 minutes into this thing, we're still doing intros. What are we doing?
We had to introduce the Believe Podcast
Yeah,
Network,
well,
Aaron.
Yeah. Have you not been listening? Turn your headphones on, dude.
I'm sorry. I was doing my job, producer.
This is gonna be one of those things where like the opposing fan base clips it and be like, "Oh, things are not going well over on the Bearcat podcast."
We got to walk off. We got to walk
off already. Chad signed off 5 seconds in. We did the sign off as a group 7 seconds in. But you know what? So Aaron, yeah, that's good to know. Good to know you're doing well.
Aaron, how was your weekend?
Great.
What did we grab?
Nothing. No free ads.
Yeah, I like that. No free ads. You hear that? You hear that? If you want to get a hold of us, Anheuser-Busch and Cincy Light. There we go. We're still in the Cincy Light studios.
Oh yeah.
We still got that rolling for us. But Aaron,
I'm not drinking tonight. I'm detoxing from the week. A lot of Cincy Lights this weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of Cincy Lights this weekend.
You know, it's as you get older, the hangover days get longer, and man, I tell you what, it's and you get a Friday night that just really pushes you to the limit. But anyway, Ryan, Mr. Royer, how are we?
I'm doing well. I had a solid weekend besides the pain and suffering of Friday night. Yeah, it was good. Just did the usual. Went to the establishment in Oakley to watch the game.
Okay.
Then went over to Covington Saturday. I played some billiards.
Covington's a fun little spot down there.
Yeah. Went to the Wise Guy Lounge at Goodfellas. Had an old fashioned. Pretty good little spot up there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a solid weekend, man. Solid outside the line.
Yeah. Well, but Saturday we had a nice little phone call.
Yeah, we had a little exchange of words.
A little chit chat. I was not celebrating. I was partaking in my alumni day in downtown Indianapolis, and I turned down a couple of phone calls. Had like Antoine Randall L was calling me, wanted to talk about the game later that night, and another phone call from Trent Green, and I ignored both of those, and I saw you pop up. I said I got to answer Ryan Royer. I hit answer right away, and boy, it was great to hear from you.
I'll be in B-Town tomorrow night.
Okay, now. Okay.
Going to see my old buddy Josh Reed take on the Hoosiers.
Oh, what is
nice.
he? Is he about what? Couple hundred away from 1,200 points, career points?
Just 1,000. Let's not 1,200. Like, where'd you add the 200 extra freaking points from?
It was on the show. You said he's going to score. He's going to be
1,000 points.
1,200 point scorer for the.
No. Now you're just making shit up. I said 1,000. 1,000 point scorer.
Aaron, fire up the GPT.
Look, I love telling Chad when he's wrong, but he is loud right in this case. He said 1,000. I don't know where you came up with 1,200.
Up on the GPT. Anyway, guys, yeah, you know what? But yeah, it's that was a good intro. So one final thing.
All right, show's over. Wrap it up.
One final thing before you decide to drive that car somewhere crazy, take it to Danco Transmission Auto Care first, and make sure you get it tuned up before you drive it somewhere crazy. That's right. You get $10 off the oil change. You get 10% off your next fixing over at Danco Transmission Auto Care. You can mention. Do not mention the name that just popped in my head. Please do not.
The Liberty Bowl.
Instead, mention the Liberty Bowl. Mention Isaiah Peed. Mention Ryan Royer. Mention Alec Pierce, the boy. Mention Lorenz Metz. And and then after you mention all of those, you can mention Jaron Cumberland and Keith Williams. Because they beat Xavier one time. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive into it. Danco Transmission and Auto Care. Danco Joe, we love you, man.
Oh boy.
But without further ado, I hate this show, and it has happened a lot more than it needs to over the last handful of years. And that is the Monday following a loss to Xavier. And boy, this is one of those where it's just a weird game because obviously you have the effects of the current status of college sports where turnover is immense. Yes, pretty much a whole new roster for the Bearcats, but also an entirely whole new roster for Xavier. One of those games whereas as it trickled on, you did start to feel that fight and that hatred between the two sides. And the star of the night was the one really amping up the crowd as much as he possibly could at the end. And man, Trey Carroll, I've seen everyone just say anything from, YMCA player to, Jason Momoa to like all these different things to kind of give him like a different, I'm just going to say just dominant player playing probably at his highest level, not hitting a bunch of threes, but getting anything he wanted inside on his way to 30 points. Xavier's best player played his best against Cincinnati in the game that matters the most. So in the end, it was a loss, 79-74. And of course, everyone knows it's just been a very long time, very, very, very long time since the Bearcats have won at Cintas, and that just gets even longer now. Chad and Aaron, you guys obviously had the aftermath. I thought you guys were pretty nice to each other. I want to see a little bit more fight out of you two. Especially following a tough loss, and said you're just playing patty cake for an hour. But Ryan, you were able to take in the game. You win the rebounding margin. You hold Xavier to a poor shooting performance from beyond the arc. They struggle from the free throw line as well, yet you still lose. It's just one of those weird type games where obviously they took it to you and in the paint and from two. So I don't know what's your main takeaways and kind of just like, golly, what's your status currently as now 6-3 in the non-con and a road trip, not to Georgia, but down to the state to play the Bulldogs coming up this weekend.
Yeah, it's not looking good on the horizon, especially, that Trey Carroll guy, he was up for the preseason for the Naismith, though, right, Brian? Wasn't he?
Well, he currently is now. He is.
Yeah.
I think he's the leader.
Just being a dumbass.
Right.
Yeah, you mentioned the rebounds. Yeah, we were attacking the glass, got a lot of offensive rebounds, but when you look, it really comes down to you shoot under 50%. Layups under 50% free throws. There were so many opportunities. I feel like Buck Harris had 3 good looks, like right at the rim. Those don't go in. You just make a couple more free throws. You'd be sitting here saying, "Oh, we played like shit and we won somehow." But I felt like, Xavier, if they were going to win, it was going to be, they're going to light it up from deep. But they really just leaned on Trey Carroll just physically dominating us like around the paint. And he was able to get buckets whenever he needed to. And it's a shame because you kind of think about who he's going up against and Mustafa Cham or Baba Miller, guys that we felt we'd have the edge on. And that's why we went and got them for their defensive ability, their athleticism. And we weren't able to shut him down. And then you just kind of just feel the offense just feels stale. A lot of just handoffs around the perimeter and then chuck a 3. And it's just it's a game that was obviously a winnable game against the if you look at the two rosters, obviously we have a better roster. They have all those new players, and you just felt like they outcoached us, they outplayed us, and they made tough baskets, and they ended up just playing harder than us and winning. And that seems to be a common theme amongst this Wes Miller squad, especially in these games. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks to keep losing the crosstown shootout against a team that, they're like on paper is not better. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of questions, and I don't really see a lot of answers, on the roster right now. And it's just it's a sad spotlight that was put on the program yet again.
It's in Chad. I'm going to bring you in right now because you're the you got some basketball brains to you. But when you see a player like Trey Carroll kind of just start to really go off, especially in the beginning of that second half, I know West changed up and went to the zone a little bit. It kind of stymied them for a segment and a half, and then they were able to kind of pick that apart, and had to kind of go away from it. But I just didn't quite see any double teams coming at Trey Carroll. Didn't really didn't seem to like frustrate him at all. It kind of seemed like he was able to call for the ball, get to his spot, and kind of get his shot really against anyone who came at him. Once he got hot, he took Abayev obviously a handful of times, took Day, and then was able to take Baba once he was in his rhythm. I don't know. It just when someone's really getting it on like that, is it some sort of a way where try and throw some double teams out? I just felt like there was the full adjustments.
West said after the game they had not really worked on double teaming yet this year, so he wasn't comfortable doing it.
Okay. Yes.
Seems like a simple concept that should be practiced at some point. I will say though, I didn't feel like his style.
August, September, October, November, December.
How deep is that on the install of the defense, you think?
Clearly doesn't get touched until 30% into the. Are we at 30% now, Aaron?
Did you not expect to have to double team anybody before conference play?
We're not even at 33% of the season. No, I think we are at 30, but Aaron's the math major,
right.
so I'd have to.
It's right around 30. I mean, we were at 20. We had gotten to 25 the last time we were complaining about things. I think we're close to 27, 28% of the season. Haven't worked on the double team yet. No, it's Jason, dribbling's like they haven't worked on dribbling between their legs. Like they've worked on dribbling, but like dribbling and walking at the same time, they hadn't gotten to that yet. So stop talking. Stop talking. If that's your stop talking.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Bite the tongue. We got to be better.
Not an excuse.
Won't happen again.
It's just a reason. It's
probably
not an
what
excuse.
Should have been said.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the,
to play a little bit of advocate. His game style wasn't a ton of like, all right, we go double him. It's really just gonna, especially where he was
get
kind
the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, well, no, you send the double before he's in the post. You send it at him the second he gets it, and then he's got to get rid of it. Like he would back down whoever was on him from the 3-point line someplace, and it was
there were no guards. Like every time one of our big guys catches a pass and starts to dribble, there's somebody coming to dig immediately, like just to get a hand in there, just to make it a little uncomfortable. Like that's why Baba had 7 turnovers the other night against Podunk State, is because every time he would dribble, they had a second guy coming and at least crowding the space, not allowing him to just get completely comfortable and do whatever the hell he wanted.
Yeah.
We haven't worked on it.
Yeah. I agree, Ryan. His offensive game is a little unorthodox. Like it's not like he's like backing
so you
down.
Let him score 30?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Like you can't like that should be beside the point. Like as he started to go, like he had 10 in the first half, and then he was just immediately going at it
on 11 shots. Yeah.
So I got to just throw him off his game somehow. It's not like he was hitting threes. It's not like he was really having too much else going on. It was just.
When's the last time you remember a guy going for 30 that was 1 of 6 from the free throw line and 1 of 5 from 3? I've never fucking seen that happen in my whole life.
Never. Never.
You should have gone. You should have maybe
Back
just
in the
gone
80s,
hack-a-shack on him and put him on the line.
Maybe.
He wasn't making them.
Yeah, I like that's the main part that really frustrates me is the fact that like Xavier as a team wasn't making them if their name wasn't all right. Like they struggled from the free throw line.
All right.
Exactly. Matthew McConaughey. One of my group chats, heavily Bearcat fan esque, we changed our name of the group chat to movie fans now. It's just the movies. So it's gonna pick up new hobbies. One is into cooking now. One is doing Christmas movies, and the other one is working out. And it's like, wow, this is like kind of fun. So you know what? That's the crazy thing. But yeah, it's frustrating because you had that happen, and then you had their struggles from three, where they changed up their whole approach, and they were going more of like we're going to let it fly from deep, and hopefully, hang with teams and beat teams after they had kind of a slow start to the year. Well, they weren't hitting threes in this game, and yet they still found a way. It's just frustrating when that happens. It should be a win for the team that then out rebounds that team that struggled shooting, but yet we didn't turn them over at all. Four turnovers when all right was just all right. Like he didn't have a massive great game. It's just like
you didn't heat up anybody with the ball. There was no ball pressure at all, Brent. They just let Xavier come down and get into their stuff. Like,
they had a ton of pressure on us with our screen game, and we didn't have any counter to it once. It was essentially just get harassed on the ball for a second or two, and then pull back, go run another handoff, chuck a three. Like there's never a count. Like the first counter we've really seen from this team was countering with that zone, but there's never a counter on offense. Like when we were against EMU, there was never a zone counter. There's never a counter to like high pressure off the ball screens.
Well, they came out, Ryan. Their plan was to get to the rim, and then they missed every layup.
Yeah,
finished 8 of 18 on layups on a team that was terrible. Their 2-point defense was terrible.
Yep, it was. I mean, and the thing is also on top of it, it's like you have to not only come up with answers and responses yourself, but then you have to stop the other team from responding to your answers. Like Celestine hits the three in the corner and ballsy three, hand in his face. Like that's why he brought him in, is to knock down some outside shots. And he had a pretty decent game doing that. And then you go right back down.
That shot is why you bring him in.
Right, exactly. And you go back down on the other court, and it's you're back in that zone, and it's a simple screen, and no one gets out to the shooter on the outside, and just bang, like you had the lead for what, 7 seconds? And then
the 2.3.
Yeah, it's just you. Well, the one. I mean, was his foot on the line? I don't know. Whatever. It's another stupid argument for stupid time, but
it didn't matter.
He was wide open, so we'll give him the damn three if he's that wide open. But it's just it seemed like every time that we would Cincinnati would chip away, Xavier would have a response. Whether
they had a very clear shot of his foot on the replay because there was nobody in the vicinity to challenge the shot.
Right, exactly. Not a single person.
It was a shoot around shot.
It's rough. It is rough. I don't know. It's one of those where like this Xavier team was obviously coming into the game. All metrics were pointing to them not being too hot. They were 83rd in KenPom, 81st in KenPom, or
they're still below UC in KenPom.
They're still below Cincinnati in KenPom. I mean, it's just it's all puzzling, and it's all things where you get that alley-oop to begin the second half, and then you miss your next 7 shots, and you kind of look discombobulated shooting each one of them too. It's and I kind of heard you guys on the aftermath talking about Mustafa Cham and Baba Miller attempting 3-point shots, and like Chad, I think you mentioned you're okay with it when it's in the flow. But golly, Baba had that 1-3 when we were like down 4 and kind of like making that little final surge with about 4
They were
minutes
begging
left.
you to shoot it.
Yeah, like he had a lane to go.
Yes, just go.
Instead, it's just like settling for a 3 when you're one of 12 on the year now to begin the season. It's just, I don't know. It's and you know who had a pretty good grasp of when watching things and is probably someone that never really watches the Bearcats, maybe a little prep work for it. Robbie Hummel was on the call of the game, and yet again, this has to TNT, man. Like they knocked it out of the park with the Kansas broadcast. This broadcast was really damn good too, even though obviously the team we didn't want to win won. But I think did a spectacular job. But Robbie on like numerous possessions offensively was just like I'm just not sure what Cincinnati's really doing here. You know, they've had the ball for 15 seconds and they haven't gotten anything going yet. They haven't really got the offense flowing, and then it kind of you
Haven't
kind
moved
of
the
get into it, and then all of a
defense.
sudden you're forced to settle for a baseline jumper by Buck Harris. You know, it just it's frustrating, and people are noticing it and seeing it pretty easily. So I don't know. It's just you got to turn it around quick because right now everyone's really just not happy, and it's just kind of happiness turned to sadness pretty damn quick following the game. And I know it's just the pulse of everyone is just like, God, we got to win, like because the talent you can tell is there. Like you can tell these players individually are talented players. And I think you kind of saw that in the Michigan exhibition where the ball was just rolled out there and there was really no, in-depth scouting heading into the game. It was more just whatever players you have going up against whatever players we have, and saw that we had the talent to kind of line up with them. So I don't know.
That's a
Hopefully,
perfect example of what the problem is. Especially when you look at the shootout, it's an identity game.
yeah,
It's a program identifier, and this year's a perfect example. A brand new roster in X, a new coach, and they're not as good as us player to player, but the identity that they were able to form and just figuring out a way to win and beat us and make us uncomfortable throughout the whole game. And we have no identity as a basketball program. All we have is players. We have players that are highly ranked, whether out of high school or they've been brought in, and we just throw together a roster, and we hope to just use their dynamic offensive ability, and hopefully they just go out there and score points. And for you highlighting Michigan's one of the best teams in the country right now, and we were able to just roll our guys out there when it's no pressure's on. There's not as much of a coaching prowess necessary in those exhibition games versus, in like the most important game of the year in the shootout where it's going to come down to inches is what's going to win the basketball game. And we just get exposed. And it's been the same story that we've had in the past 5 years. There's no identity, and the identity is nowhere near where it needs to be in terms of Bearcat basketball. Playing tough, playing as a team, and figuring out a way to win, grinding out wins, and players coming together as a team and not just being a bunch of individual talents. And I think that when you look at that's on the coach. That's on Wes Miller. Wes Miller is able to recruit. He's able to pick good talent, but he's not able to get the talent to execute and put the talent into place to win a game and to counter actions by the other coach, and to do the simple little things, free throws, layups, double team, like all the things we've just hit on. It's a problem.
You get
It's
to
a
halftime
huge
tied
problem.
in the shootout. We didn't see the patented like Xavier, 14-4
yeah,
start to the game. You get the 37-37 at halftime. You get the dunk out of halftime, and then you immediately give up a 10-0 run.
mm-hmm.
And you're down. I think it's actually ended up like a 12-2 run or whatever before that first timeout, and you're down 10 going into the first media timeout of the second half. You end up getting down by 13 at the most, and now you're in desperation mode the rest of the way. That can't happen especially for a team that's as challenged as this one is offensively.
Right.
And then they make it all the way back. Like you said, they take the 1-point lead with 2 minutes and 46 seconds or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And they were dead in the water from that point on.
Yeah. And
dead in the water.
It's just that same stat we brought up last week. Sorry, and then I'll let you go, Aaron. The what was it, 30-5 when, or sorry, 5-30 when trailing under 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just
unbelievable.
You fight that hard to get back to a 1-point lead in a game that it never really felt like you were playing well enough to even be in that game. And somehow you clawed your way back to a lead. You felt like they should have taken advantage of that because, again, it just never felt like they should have even been in that position. It certainly didn't feel like they were playing better than Xavier to have a lead. Like, I looked at the scoreboard when they took that lead, and I was trying to remember how we even got to that point because it didn't make sense that they were even in the game at that point.
It goes Eastern Michigan game. You played like crap that entire game. You cut it to 1. Where this happens in bye games at times, like you play like crap, and then you get the momentum, and there's 5-6 minutes left in the game or whatever, and then you pull ahead and you win. And they got it to 1, and they gave up an 8-0 run. And now you're down 9 against Eastern Michigan late in the second half for a team that struggles offensively. Like, it's beyond me because this is not – last year you could tell there were pieces that didn't fit. What doesn't fit about this roster?
I'm not sure it's the roster that doesn't fit at this point.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm making, Aaron. What doesn't – there's not anything you can look at that's like this guy's playing out of position or that guy's, forced to do some things that he's not comfortable with. Like what doesn't fit?
I think it's the same thing we've always mentioned. But it's not about, like you're mentioning right now, Chad, it's not about the lack of a fit. It's just the lack
They're
of
playing like crap.
And just the lack of not having a true dog. Like mixed teams used to always like do the same thing where like the shot clock would trickle down, and you'd be like, what is this offense doing? And then SK would go and get a bucket or draw a foul. Or like Jared would drive full steam and get it too. There's just no one on this team that can do that, and
that's a failure of roster building. That again, for the 5th consecutive year, there's not a go get you a bucket guard on this roster. There's not one. There hasn't been one. I mean, I guess I consider Landers more of a wing forward.
Yeah,
I didn't consider him a guard.
Yeah.
DeJulius, a little, you could get it to him late in the shot clock and he could make something happen. But other than that, there's not, and this is your 3rd season in the Big 12. You've watched all these things in the Big 12 and you didn't determine going into the offseason, we got to go get somebody that averaged 17 points a game last year.
Right. Yeah. Because you're seeing these these mid-major like guards like that are able to like do the step up, and they might not go out and still average 17 a game, but they're going to be able to be that player that when you need to go get that bucket late or something like in a shot clock scenario that could go and get it. Maybe he's only averaging like 13 points per game this year. I mean, shouts to Day. Like he's playing his heart out.
He's been fine.
Right. But he's just not going to be that kind of guy. Like
it's not who he is.
He's great at a catch and shoot 3. Like he's shown right now that he's just really, really good at that. And I mean, shooting 50% still from deep. So that's just more credit to it. But it's just, you don't have that type of a player, especially when the offense so much of the time is like, that's what we need to find. I text about it in the group chat as well. There was like a blob play where there was like 5 seconds left on the shot clock and it was a setup for Buck and nothing against Buck, but it's just like with that little time left on a shot clock, what are you trying to create with that little time? I don't know. It's frustrating, and I just really do not like losing to that team.
Do you think part of the vision was that by having Baba and Cham, that should be 20 plus points a game, and it would overcome maybe not having that over 15-point dog at guard, but when you kind of have Cham just disappearing.
He had 9 points and 9 rebounds. Like he wasn't good, but between him and Baba, they got the 20 that you're talking about, Ryan.
I know.
And it wasn't enough.
19 and 26 between those two, by the way.
Yeah.
You don't feel like Cham's presence in the offense, his dynamic ability isn't as what we expected it to be, especially in a big game like this, is kind of what my point was.
I mean, I never expected him to be a 15-point a game guy. Like that's not who he is. Like you didn't go get that guy. That's the problem.
What did he average
Ryan,
last year?
Like 11.
11. I thought he averaged 14. My bad.
No, he was on a team with 3 dudes that shot the ball.
He had a really good second half of the year. Cham did.
Yeah.
But that UCF team was just running gun. Pretty much what we're going to see out of Georgia this weekend is just haywire, a lot of scoring. Get ready, get lucky, and strap in.
Get the ball to one of your dudes, get them downhill.
Yep, and go. So
wasn't Corey Evans supposed to help out with roster building? The roster build is the only thing I have a problem with is they didn't prioritize a 2-guard, but that's on Wes and the staff. That I think Corey did what was asked of him in helping build the roster.
Yeah,
but
Tom was actually at 10.4, not 11, by the way.
I oversold him.
I mean, it's
in the ballpark.
It wasn't even as good as 11.
You were 0.2. You're 0.2 off, Chad. 0.2 off.
That's 0.6.
So if you're rounding up, 10.6 would have been rounded up to 11. I think that's what he's getting at.
That was what I was getting at.
This isn't a Corey Evans thing. Like the roster should be better than this. Like, do they have a problem? Has there been a blind spot on going out and finding an elite bucket getting guard? I guess that they thought that Abayev was going to be that. Abayev was fine in this game. There was a period that they couldn't play him because he's a freshman, and X had a veteran dude that kept getting matched up on him, going, "Hey, mouse in the house. Give me the ball. Let me go to work on this dude." And they had to take him off the floor probably for more than they wanted to. I mean, I guess that was the vision as they saw Sean Abayev as that dude. You still could have taken what you spent on the roster and found a way to go get a bucket-getting guard. Yeah. And maybe they thought that was going to be Jizzle, but we saw 2 years of that wasn't it.
Right.
That wasn't it. He was super maybe he'll get you that 14 points a game, but he was going to be really inefficient more often than not doing so. In order to get a guy that really is going to be able to score 15, 16 points a game at this level, they got to be able to shoot it 34, 35% at minimum from 3. And they got to get to the free throw line 5, 6, 7 times a game. And they didn't go out and get that guy. That's not a Corey issue. That is on the staff. Like, you got to go find that guy. Yeah, Abayev's been fine. But they put, this is what we talked about, Brent, coming into the season. Mm-hmm. You're putting a lot of pressure on a dude that's never done it at the Division I level before. Yeah. He's going to have his nights where he's really good. He's going to have his nights where he struggles, especially early.
Right. And he had that little stretch in the first half, where it was just like, okay,
it's fine.
You're seeing something. But it's his first time playing this game. And you could tell right now he's more comfortable with that, with just shooting, not the full on attack, which, I mean, obviously the attack part will come. You're not going to just immediately, go up to this high level and then all of a sudden be attack unless you're, Cam Boozer or AJ DeBanza. So hopefully as the season wears on, it'll be one of those scenarios where it only gets better as it wears on. But man, I like, you take out Day Thomas right now, and this team is shooting 27% from three, on pretty high volume. You've got three different players that are, one's 2 of 12, one's 1 of 12, one's 1 of 11, and they all seemingly have somewhat of a green light. And I don't know. It's just that it's a scenario where if the shots start to fall and you do see what we're being told is a good shooting team come to fruition, then wins should follow. Because we just haven't seen that side of it quite yet. And it doesn't get any easier because, I mean, Georgia's looking pretty good right now. Clemson's looking pretty good. And then you've got teams that obviously they should be cupcakes, the rest of the non-con and the Alabama States and the Lipscombs of the world. But, we've seen struggles against the Texans of Tarleton State, the Mount St. Mary's Marys, and of course, Eastern Michigan Flying Hurt Me Eagles. So I don't know. It's got to get right quick, and a week off, and you had to head down there to Georgia and see if you can't try and pull out a win against the Bulldogs.
Good luck. I mean, they're right
they'll
now
go.
23 in Ken Palm, 22 on offense, 44 on defense.
Yeah.
They are playing at the second fastest tempo in the country on offense.
Yep.
They offensive rebound it really well. They don't turn it over a whole lot. They force a ton of turnovers.
Yep.
They're the number 3 team in the country from 2-point percentage, 65% from 2. They're 32nd in the country at the free throw line, 77.5% from the line. They turn you over. They get steals. They get a lot of turnovers. Actually, they're 22nd in the country in non-steal turnover percentage. So they're just speeding you up, and like their MO, Brent, is speed you up and force you into doing dumb shit. And this team gets sped up and does more dumb shit than any team I can remember watching.
Yeah, and it is weird because we saw in the beginning of the year, you felt like, okay, so maybe we are going to get out and run a little bit. But I mean, Xavier slowed us down to a halt. We slowed down. Jesus, help me out here, Aaron. Slowed down. We were slowed down by Louisville after we slowed them down. It's going to be one of those where you could turn the ball over 25 plus times if you get out of sorts. And
Joe, what are you looking for here? They built a solid roster. The roster is not the problem. The roster should be an NCAA tournament team. Do I not like that they didn't go out and add one more, like a high level guard? But that's not on Corey. That's on Wes. Wes hasn't added that guy since he got here. The only one he's had, he inherited. For some reason, he does not value that. That doesn't have anything to do with Corey.
Yeah.
Like what? So you're out on Corey. Why? What are you out on?
Out on not finding that one diamond in the rough that would come in and average 25 right away. And
yeah. And what? He was still with the Thunder while with Cincinnati.
Yeah.
He wasn't fully into the job until the portal was pretty much done. When did they announce his hire? Late April? Early May?
Yeah, it was definitely a month after this. There was that one big tournament, and then there it was. But I don't know. Anything more on basketball, guys? It's obviously a very sad state of affairs right now. I mean, I know we throw out Ken Palm a lot, but you can look at any metric right now, and they've got a rough rest of the season.
March 31st. The portal had been open for a month at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what. So Ken Palm's got a final prediction of 14-17 on the year, a 6-12 record in the Big 12.
That ain't gonna do it.
No.
That ain't gonna do it.
The net ranking, I know that's like nothing right now because obviously it's so early in the year, but just don't look at it if you don't understand it. I just tell you, don't look at it. Outside of that, boy, 76th in Ken Palm right now, lowest ranking since they lost to Monmouth, I believe, back in West year one. Well, no, obviously later on that year they got even worse, but this early in the season was then. So here we go. Strap up and try and close out the non-con strong because you got Houston. Then you've got a two-game road trip, and then that game against Colorado, January 14th. It could be an interesting atmosphere if some wins don't come over the next month. So, anything else basketball-wise, guys? Obviously, I could just sit here and continuously just down to the dumps talk about this, that, and the other, or we can just timestamp and move on.
Are you still betting on them, or are you out?
You know what, man? That's a funny question. I simply do have some fans that went to Xavier as well. So not only was it betting on them, but it was also betting with the friends on them. And
was that the straw that broke the camel's back?
Man, it's gotten to the point where it's just like, well, and then you do a little juicy, Indiana Hoosiers money line against Ohio State, and you're just right back in the game. But it's also become one of the scenarios where like I was with a bunch of Indiana people this weekend, and like a whole handful of them were like, wait, Cincinnati played Xavier yesterday, so it's like it's gotten to that point too, where it's like,
well, they're both irrelevant.
It's just so got to start damn winning, please. Please figure something out. But let's go ahead and timestamp.
This, that, and the other. Everybody drink. This timestamp brought to you by Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company. For all your non-food products, they service over 150 restaurants with weekly low minimum next day deliveries. They provide a wide range of food service products from to-go containers, cups, custom printed products, eco-friendly, and much more. They also have cleaning and restroom supplies for all your janitorial needs. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
Boom, baby. Now, you know what? This would be a time where we're going to riff with my best friend, Ryan Royer. And after we're done doing that, we're going to talk a tiny bit about this little football game that is like a little under a month away, because there is one more football game coming up. And we just have to touch on it. And it's give me Liberty or give me Navy. And we got both of them at once. So, but let's riff first. Go ahead, Ryan.
All right. Which of I know the Bearcats were kind of projected in, I think, 5 other bowl games. Was there any of those 5 that you felt that would you have preferred the Bearcats to be in rather than the Liberty Bowl?
Absolutely.
All of them?
Pop-Tarts. Come on, baby. Right in the backyard.
Here's the problem. You get an AAC opponent at the end of the bowl cycle, and the one AAC opponent that's not going to be hit by a coaching change or guys going into the portal or really anything, you're going to get a top 25 Navy that looks like exactly like the top 25 Navy that we saw all season. And Cincinnati's not going to look like Cincinnati. Like there's no way that Golday or Corleone or Royer, like those guys aren't, like, they've got a draft stock to protect. They're not going to go play January 2nd against Navy. I would be shocked.
Well, especially on the D line, because we've seen playing Navy in the AAC. And linebacker. They're going right, Ryan. They're going at your knees. They're going low block wise. So going at your knees. Yeah.
Everybody clap your hands.
How low can you go? But yeah, no, it's like awesome. Bowl season has just become so weird now with the whole college football playoff scenarios.
Yeah.
And to the point where it's like, okay, you play January 2nd, which is like the last possible day for a non-college football playoff game to be played, bowl season wise.
The Birmingham Bowl didn't have people in the Birmingham Bowl until yesterday, and they had to take 2 teams from the same conference just to schedule the game.
It's crazy. And on top of it, it's like, okay, now you're going to get the opportunity to play against a team where when you do start prepping for them, because you talk about how important bowl practices are, right, Ryan? But when you do start game prep for them, guess you got to prep for the first time that probably this coaching staff has ever prepped for it. I mean, I don't think Iowa State really played against the academies, or I mean, I guess Walt's got some experience against the academies, but
Court Braswell coached at Army.
Oh yes, that is true.
So he has seen the triple option.
Familiarity, yes, but no one on the roster probably has really seen it. But also that this whole month is when you're going to see the transfer portal heat up. You're going to see coaching carousel, not head coaches, but assistant coaches and support staffs and whatnot start to happen as well. So movement season is upon us, and January 2nd is a long ways away. So I would have liked the Pop-Tart Bowl because it's here in Orlando, just right over there. Would have brought y'all down, made y'all some Pop-Tarts of my own, and we would have eaten them and enjoyed life. But yeah. It's a tough scenario. The number 1 rushing team in the country.
293 yards a game.
Yep, something like that.
We're going to have 493 yards in this
one. Little throwback.
What are the odds we see the game? What are the odds we see the base 335?
They can't. It's not. It has to be 0. Has to be 0. But
without Golday, without Corleone.
This is like the best Dante matchup of all time, but he won't be playing.
I mean, he should.
Is Lichty getting the start?
Yeah, give it to Lichty. He's earned it.
It's nuts. All right, Ryan. That's fine.
If Sorsby's not here, of course.
What is the most glaring answer to the offensive troubles for the basketball team?
Coach. Better system. Like it just what they're doing, it doesn't move the ball, doesn't move the defense. The defense is staying loaded on one side. When they do, the thing is, like when they do move the ball, you're like, oh, all right, like okay, I can see it. I can see where they're trying to go. And then they go back into you'll see it for 6-8 minute stretches where you're like, okay, that's what more of what it's supposed to look like. And then for the other 32 minutes, you don't see it anymore. And it's frustrating because there's enough offensive talent on this team.
What's the easiest 3-point shot?
The corner, the baseline corner 3.
Right, but like coming off what action, like from
coming
where
off
to
a
where?
kick out.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't get the amount of like post touches to create the outside shot. Like
they don't get paint touches. Forget post touches.
I meant paint touches. Paint touches to create the outside shot. Like it just like Robbie Humble said, and I already mentioned it. It's just so much like action that doesn't have any sort of like production, and then you kind of fluster and just go, and then you settle type feel. I don't know. I think they're missing quite a lot. Identity, a dog, a bucket getter.
And there's just it doesn't feel like there's any connectivity.
A Michael Jordan.
Like I've talked about this on defense. Like some of that should be, you shouldn't have to change your man-to-man defense when someone like Trey Carroll starts to cook you. There should be communication. Somebody should understand I've got to maybe be 6 inches more this way to keep the guy from getting to his spot. What has been my main problem? And the defense has been pretty good. Like I've been telling you guys, this is not the number 2 defense in the country, whatever, since the start of the season. It's because it's weighted and they started at number 5. So you're going to be up there, but there have been periods where the defense has looked good. But the problem is when it has struggled, teams get to their spot.
Yeah.
The guy that the other team, unless Buck is on them, the opponent gets to their spot to take their shot. They get to their comfort zone. And if you keep letting guys get into their comfort zone, they're going to put a lot of points on you. Like that's basics of like coaching and understanding. This is isn't that what Ken Pom was supposed to solve, or not Ken Pom, but it's the video system that's escaping my brain right now.
Yeah, it's what I used to have a login.
I did too, but whatever. Like that's what that's supposed to solve. Here's all the ways that this guy has scored coming into the game. And then you say, okay, we need to take away the left-handed guy going left, getting 4 feet from the rim and tossing it in the basket, not letting them do it successfully 14 times or 13 times, I guess, because he did make 1 3, 13 times in one game. Because almost everything was him going left, getting to his spot, and comfortably pulling up and knocking down the shot. Like synergy. If you can't see that on synergy when you're doing the scout and you don't have an answer for it when the game happens, what are we doing? There's not a counter punch. There's not a get a guard in space to dig down and at least make him uncomfortable instead of just letting him straight line drive to a spot and hit shots on you all for 35 minutes. Like it's just a systemic failure. None of it makes any damn sense right now.
It doesn't. And it's one of those as well where you then hear that like it's going to happen. It takes time. All these new players, we're still learning to play together. Every single team in the country is exactly like this.
Sure, and guess what they're doing? They're already going like this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and for those of you on the audio version of this, Chad was saying that every other team had an upward trajectory, while currently the red and black of Cincinnati are kind of
started the season as bad as you could possibly start a season.
Yeah.
For a Power 5 team.
Yeah.
And they have drastically gone on the upswing, and Cincinnati has. Does it feel like, Brent, they've gotten any better at anything since the season started?
No, and you guys mentioned it on the aftermath that they had one like fluky stretch against Louisville where Louisville did not hit a shot to begin the game, and
they got up 11.
Cincinnati has looked the best. Like that Dayton game was like you're never gonna have another game like that where a team goes 3 of 23 from 3.
You had it again Friday.
Yeah, exactly right. But sadly, every 3 that Xavier hit was like exactly when they needed it, and it was just like
they only hit 5 or 6?
6.
Yeah.
6 of 28.
6, but like sadly, my dumbass had to rewatch it again, and because I was enjoying beverages quite a lot when I watched it the first time, and that's when you get just like really angry watching it, and you don't really you know the drill.
Yeah.
So you hit the rewatch, and you're just like, oh wait, this is when they hit this one end of shot clock 3. That's just a backbreaker. Oh, Celestine just hit a 3 to give us the lead, but no, they're going to hit a 3 to respond just immediately. Just watch, and of course it happened. So yeah, here we are, the worst. All right, Ryan, next question, man. Come on.
A little lighthearted one. What has been your favorite moment of the basketball season so far?
Oh, God. Sure, that's lighthearted. Aaron, take it away.
I don't have a favorite moment. There's no favorite moment. My favorite moment was before the first tip when I was so excited about what we had on paper.
Yeah, this is a setup. This was a setup question. It's setting up anger. It was kind of a joke, but you guys see if we can find some positive vibes.
I would say probably the couple Baba Miller highlights in the beginning of the year.
The
Kinda
Baba
like-
putback dunk.
Yeah, like the dunk off the free throw, that one transition dunk where it was like behind the back by Kerr on the fast break where Baba then just like went. I'd say probably those. Michigan exhibition.
I got nothing. Yeah, that was fun. That the first 20 minutes in Ann Arbor,
Yeah.
like the first 20 minutes we got to see this team.
Yeah, you were like, hold up. Final Four again? Wow.
Okay. I like it, fellas. I like it.
Piece
And then actually some resiliency, like as Michigan kept coming back and coming back and coming back, and they held them off, they held them off, they held them off.
The first half of the Louisville game.
First 10 minutes of the Louisville game, 8
Sure.
minutes of the Louisville game. Up until Louisville made their first field goal, and then it was all downhill from there.
When
Yeah.
when Jalen Celestine hits that 3 against Xavier, and you think, oh, here's the comeback. No, it didn't.
The social media videos during the offseason that featured Kirk Risa. Those were good. He's a funny guy.
What's that question that you guys talked about?
Oh, that one, Aaron? Oh, boy, let me tell you. Ryan Royer called me this weekend, and like I said,
This
I
actually happened this time.
yeah,
Yes.
I had, I had to field a call. Isaiah Thomas called me because he was like, "How is IU losing to Louisville like this? What's going on?" I was like, "Yo, let me lay it in for you. But I said I can't talk long. Someone else is calling, and that's when Ryan's phone call beeped in, and I had to, then reject Kelvin Sampson's phone call that was coming in at the same time because he still has a little bit of love for IU. But I was like, no, I have to talk to Ryan Royer. So then Ryan was like, okay, well, on top of all this, like, what is your favorite bowl memory as we enter bowl season and the lacklusterness of the bowls, the lack of fluidity? So we have to remember the past. We have to remember how much fun bowls used to be. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, this game was awesome, and because of this, I love it. It could just be like, oh, remember that one time in that bowl game, how funny that was? And so Ryan asked that, and I said, save that for the BBP. Favorite bowl memory.
For me, it's the Pop-Tarts coming out party. Or when they did the Duke mayonnaise for the first time and people realized they were actually dousing a coach in mayonnaise. Like that was a real thing that happened.
I think he meant UC bowl memory.
Well,
That
no,
was not the question.
No, it was leaving it wide open.
Oh, okay, and just okay.
I liked both of those, Aaron. Definitely.
You're welcome.
Especially because with the Duke mayo, they're like, oh, put mayo on this, put mayo on that. And then that first Pop-Tarts bowl too, they had the Pop-Tart like mascot just all over the place at all times. Very, very good calls there, Aaron. Very good calls.
Yep.
Chad.
Personal bias. Oh, I'll go. Personal bias running out of the tunnel at Jerry World College Football Playoff. That was obviously that's an insane moment that I was very lucky to be a part of. And I'll always remember that. But more not non-personally biased, the Boise State upset game with the Statue of Liberty play. I remember watching that. Guy goes and proposes to his girlfriend. That was quite an epic bowl moment. I don't know if it can ever be topped.
Agreed.
Obviously, the college football playoff is its own thing. Like seeing that place half full of UC fans and against Alabama. Like if you're gonna do it, right? Nick Saban and Alabama are across the way.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it was the Orange Bowl because it was like, is this real? Like, did this really? We're in Miami on New Year's for the Orange Bowl to watch UC play. Like, this isn't supposed to happen. Like, this isn't supposed to be UC football. It was really the first true sign, because if you remember, that season wasn't like they came on at the end to end up in the Orange Bowl, and there wasn't a Big East championship game. They just kind of stayed steady, and I think people remember 09 and think that 08 was all offense. 08 was more defense. That was a great defense. And they kind of carried them through that season and just kind of kept chipping away and ended up at the end of it. Oh my God, they're going to the Orange Bowl. Right? Like that wasn't like it, what, Brent? You remember probably, I don't know how much Aaron remembers of it.
Yeah.
But that there was like 3 weeks left in the season, and it was like, can they really win the league? Like, that wasn't 09, it was all year, right? It was
a foregone
heavy pressure all year. 08, like 3 weeks left, and it was like, they're gonna win the Big East. Like, Brian Kelly's really gonna do this in year 2. They're gonna win the league, and then getting down there and just seeing UC football on a height that never, growing up in Cincinnati for, I was 32, 31, 32 at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
It never was even a thought. Like, forget it playing, like competing for that. It was never even a thought that was real. So being on the field in Miami at the Orange Bowl and like seeing that happen for the first time was probably the biggest bowl memory I'll have. It's right up there with like that Oregon State game at Nippert, where it was, oh my God, like, is this a real football team?
Right.
Like, this isn't just like the other thing in Cincinnati to do in the fall. Like,
wait a second.
Nippert is full. People are losing their damn minds. We're on national TV on a Thursday night.
This Brian Kelly guy is pretty good. What is going on? Okay.
But yeah, the Orange Bowl was just such a, like, I went down there. I drove to Miami with my dad.
Oh, wow. That's a hike.
And then, yeah, like we made a trip out of it and just, took a leisurely stroll all the 22 hours or whatever it was to Miami.
That was a weird little like atmosphere too, because it was like kind of like foggy, like misty the whole game.
Yeah.
And, like it was like a weird and of course, if you've been to Hard Rock Stadium, it's like plop, middle of nowhere, huge parking lot around it, and so you're just like there, and that's all that's there. So we drove down from Orlando, like my whole family was up there. Shouts to Alex Hoffman, got us tickets. I wasn't obviously covering the team or anything, but I just remember that game was like such a daze. And shouts to the boy, Tony Pike.
Tony Pick.
Funny we can joke about that now, but yes, that was an awesome memory.
Was it 3 or 4 interceptions in that game? It was a lot.
How you got to do soda pop like that?
Oh, Mo calls him that to his face anytime that game comes up. Tony Pick.
Oh man.
Oh, bowl season, man. Make it be great again. How is that possible? I don't even know. I don't think it is. But yeah, I love all bowls, man. Whatever. If you can gamble on it, then it's fun. So
sounds all right.
It's all here. My favorite bowl memory.
Last bowl.
Yeah.
Medal bowl.
Mm-hmm. All the above bowl. Rise above it bowl. All right. Good job, guys. Let's go ahead and timestamp it.
All right. This timestamp brought to you by Quick Favor Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. They provide mostly disposable restaurant supplies, to-go containers, cups, pizza boxes, to-go bags, can liners, napkins. They've been open since 2009 and are one of the largest minority-owned companies in the city. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
Bada bing, bada boom. We already pretty much touched enough on Navy for this show because we're gonna have 4 more shows before we play the game, something like that. So
Yeah,
let's go ahead and dive into this mailbag. We've got a big one on top. So
I think practice will start this week. So I think we'll start getting an idea of what this is gonna look like.
Yeah, we're gonna hear more and more about what it's looking like. Yeah.
If you were gonna bet on this game,
yeah,
hypothetically,
okay,
I think Cincinnati's what, a 1.5 point favorite right now?
It's 2. I saw 2.5 yesterday, but yes.
What would your advice be for a potential someone looking to play this game?
Well, as of now, everyone on Cincinnati's playing, other than the handful that have entered the the portal. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be taking place on January 2nd, but right this second, I'm not going to ever tell anyone to bet against the Cats. So, but boy, oh boy,
my God, you need help.
I couldn't think of a worse scenario than playing a freaking triple option team that's the #1 rushing team in the country, and is going up against
their defense isn't good,
right? But
this game might be done in 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, let's mailbag it up, Aaron. Oh, wait, this mailbag, Chad, who's it brought to us by?
The mailbag is brought to you by our good friend Greg Hooden. If you want to, if you're looking, maybe you're gonna get the significant other a Christmas present, a really nice Christmas present.
Is that a thing? Like, does anyone actually buy a car for Christmas?
I think they do. I don't think normal people do.
Do you not see those commercials in those movies with the big?
Where do you get those giant bows? Like,
I know,
I think you got to do that yourself. I think you gotta. You think Greg Hooden's got some bows in the back?
One of Brent's cotillion friends has a giant bow business.
I know a guy. He's the bow man.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
But if you're looking for a new or used vehicle, go see Greg Hooden, Beachmont Toyota. He will get you taken care of. You can find him on all the social media platforms: Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, at Cincy Greg Hooden, and tell him the BCJ or the BBP boys sent you, and he'll get you taken care of for your holiday shopping needs.
That's right.
People buying cars for their significant others for Christmas. Where they do that at? All right. Do you this starts out in the football portion of the mailbag, as always. Do you expect the only potential changes to the coaching staff will come from assistants getting a raise or promotion at another program? Or do you think where did it go? Or do you think Coach Satterfield is still evaluating the current staff?
I think if there were going to be people that were quote unquote fired, I think it probably would have happened by now. Just my guess. That's not to completely rule it out, but usually those things happen pretty quick. So I think you try to try your damnedest. It sounds like, there's some interest in Cardwell. What's happening, Aaron? Are you doing that?
There's this new timer thing that I don't know how to. I've turned it off, but it apparently is still on. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be relieved of their duties at this point. Maybe I'll be wrong, but typically that happens pretty quick, so that you can get in the market and find a replacement. If you're moving on from somebody, we're past signing day now. You're moving on from somebody. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to drag that out if that's going to be the case. So now we watch and see if anybody ends up somewhere else. How about Kerry Combs getting a job at Michigan?
Blew my mind.
Crazy.
I was surprised. I was
Mich-
surprised.
Michigan sticking with Sharon Moore. I was surprised.
Why?
I don't think he's a good coach, but anyway. Is Coach Cardwell a real candidate at South Carolina or elsewhere?
Is his offensive line a finalist for the Joe Moore Award? If yes, then yeah, there's going to be people looking at him and going, hey, maybe that guy would be a fit here. Come on. What kind of question is that? Yes. There's going to be interest. Can they keep him? I would do everything I could to keep him, but you'd be very naive to think that's not a guy that's going to draw significant interest in an offseason where his offensive line is considered one of the best in the country. They gave up 5 sacks on the season. Yeah, people are going to be looking.
I mean, you could argue he's one of the hottest names out there at the offensive line coaching position. I mean, obviously, I don't know the pulse on the country, but just hit repeatedly the stats that the Cincinnati team has been able to put up and what he's been able to do, under
yards per play and yards before first contact and all the things you look at when trying to find like who's going to be able to really elevate our offensive line. And then you do it at a program like Cincinnati that doesn't have the greatest resources in the country. Yeah, people are going to be interested.
All right. A more future forward question, perhaps, but after how each season has ended with 4+ losses in a row, what should we as fans expect going forward with the current staff / administration? What does this program sell to fans that next year will be any different?
I think the thing that they're leaning on selling is they've improved every year. The record has gone up every year. That is a sign of positive development, but the way the seasons have ended have fans questioning that. So is it something that will actually sell? I guess we'll find out when the season opens and we see how many people are in the seats at Nippert Stadium. It's not an easy sell right now. It's not.
Nope.
Will finances ever not be a problem for UC? Bearcat fan, finances are a problem for everybody. Yes, the finances. UC is never going to be Ohio State, Texas, Alabama, Georgia. So if your goal is to be financed to a point that finances are not a problem, you're probably going to be disappointed. UC has always been a program that has relied on doing more with less. That is the blueprint. It's probably never going to change unless out of nowhere comes a couple billionaire donors that just enjoy spending money on seeing their football team be successful. That's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's not likely.
Assign a letter grade to Sat's halftime adjustments and third quarter performance in his 3 years.
D, F, like they got killed in the third quarter this year.
Yeah, D- because they had the 1/3 quarter where they tied UCF.
I agree.
Not great.
No.
Be better. Do you want Notre Dame to join the Big 12 as the same deal as they have it with their soon-to-be X-Conference?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
sure.
It's anytime you
Let's
can
get
add
Freeman back in Nippert.
Yeah.
Convince him to come back.
Anytime you can add a team of that stature, it would only boost the conference. So obviously, yes.
Yeah, it has helped the ACC. How much? That's up for debate, but they get 4 or 5 teams a year that play Notre Dame, get the national TV and get all the attention and whatever. I mean, what? You could argue Notre Dame Miami was the most important game of the year because the team that won got in the playoff and the team that lost didn't.
in a very weird way, somehow it didn't matter. It mattered in week 1, and it didn't matter at all again
until week 15.
until Sunday morning.
Right.
Which, man, Reese Davis, give it to that guy. I mean, like you guys didn't really talk about it too much on the nightcap, but like some of the logic going behind it, that whole thing is just like, what in the world? Like,
it is the problem with having the TV show every week, because every week you have to defend why you placed people
Right.
where every week, and then at the end, because theoretically you're not writing it like when you write a TV script, right? It's a TV show. When you write a TV script, you generally know the end, and then you write everything that leads up to the end. Like you know how things are going to be done, so that you can put a nice, tidy little bow on things.
Yeah.
Well, they're just kind of winging it every week that they go up there, and then you get to the end, and all the shit that they said throughout the other 7 weeks or whatever that they have that show, now you're being held accountable for that when you have changed that criteria when you got to the finish line.
Right.
It's stupid.
Unless you're writing Game of Thrones, in which case you just throw some shit at the wall and hope that people like it.
Well, that was the problem with Game of Thrones, is they didn't think past the end of the books until they got to the end of the books.
So far, the Duffer Brothers have done a great job with the final season.
Right. They got to all that had been written in the books, and they wrote all the way to that. And then when they were on their own, they went, shit. What do we do now?
Yeah.
What a mess.
I'm talking about Duffer Brothers with Stranger Things. I love that television show. But, you know, and like, so all the uproar about Miami, and then all of a sudden, so then they boost up Miami. I guarantee you, if they had to like wait another week and give out the final one, Notre Dame would be in, because of all the uproar that people are saying about Notre Dame. So, yeah, it's just whatever.
Never had a question for anybody other than us, but a question for UC Merc 17, who he did answer in the thread, which was all weird. And you, when does Notre Dame's contract end with the ACC?
Guys, nobody's asking you for your opinion except for this question here. It's the only time it's ever happened. On the mailbag thread. That's not for answers. It's just for questions. It's questions to us.
Chad
we don't need your opinion added.
Chad doesn't like to share the mic.
It makes it hard for Aaron. He's got to sort through that and get things up on the show here.
It's not terrible.
Help me out, Aaron. Jesus.
Yeah. Show some respect.
So when does Notre Dame's contract end with the ACC?
No idea. I don't know.
I don't give a shit about anyone at Notre Dame since Marcus. They can do whatever the hell they want. And Will Pauling.
Yeah, how about Will Pauling? Well, no more games for him. They are done with the season. All right, next question, Aaron.
Took their ball and went home. Would you like, instead of bowl season, you do rivalry season? Have you play out of conference rivals?
No.
I do like the random bowl part of things, but it's just lost its luster because now the college football playoff is king, and the rest is more about making your next move.
The next is just TV fodder for a time of year when there's very little on TV.
Right.
Because all the shows are in reruns and people are having holiday parties, and it's more for that and gambling than, I mean, there is going to be all-time record lows at these bowl games this year.
At the bowl games,
nobody,
the ratings will still
the ratings will be great.
Fine, yeah.
But nobody's going to bowl games anymore because nobody cares.
Exactly.
They don't mean it. They didn't mean anything before, but they definitely don't mean anything now.
Yep.
Eye test. How do the players stack up on this team versus back in the Big East days for size, speed, and skill?
About the same, similar.
I mean, it's just so weird because, like, the game itself has changed as well. I mean, So it's not really the same as when you face some like Donald Brown running it
Like
down your throat.
size, speed, and skill was. It's the difference, I guess. I guess I'd give a little bit of advantage to the early Big East day, like the Brian Kelly Big East days,
Yeah.
because they were winning conference championships and going to BCS bowls, where this is more a middle of the pack. And I think we saw that play out as the year went on. Say middle of the pack Big 12 roster.
Right.
So a little bit below, but there's not a lot of difference. They had great size on the offensive line. The linebackers were big. You know, the receivers had good size. The running backs were similar. So yeah, and I don't think the Big 12 is a better league than that Big East was. I think that was TV propaganda. Those Big East. You still had West Virginia and Pitt when Pitt was good, and Syracuse was still somewhat relevant. Rutgers had a really good program back then. I think the Big 12's obviously it's a 16-team league. I would hope it's a little deeper than 10 or whatever that the Big East had, but there was plenty of football talent in the Big East. That was the media was trying to squeeze the Big East out, especially ESPN, and so they just shit on the Big East constantly, including UC when they were winning. That was one of the reasons everybody shit on the Big East, is because this Conference USA team came in and competed in the Big East. The Big East must suck.
Let's put them in the Sugar Bowl against one of the best teams ever to not play in the college football championship game. I mean, that Florida team would have won the national championship that year. I'm just gonna say.
I agree, Randy. Trent Cole could play in any era.
Jake Golday could play in any era. Brendan Sorsby could have been the quarterback for UC in any era. Dante Corleone's a good defensive tackle in any era. You can do that.
Also true.
Yeah, like
Ryan Royer could be a special team star in any era.
Or Ryan Royer could have got a Make-A-Wish block punt in any era.
Ryan Royer probably could have started for the 1989 Bearcat team that finished 1-10, if I remember correctly.
What percentage chance do you give on Sorsby?
That is.
What percentage chance do you give on Sorsby returning? What needs to happen this offseason beyond Sorsby returning for the 26 team to break the November swoon and win 9+ games?
15%, 20%. I think we'll hopefully get a better idea. I mean, that's probably an overestimation. I think there's a thing or two that at least gives Cincinnati a chance. I don't think it's zero. But with the money that's being thrown around and the opportunity that would be presented to him, it would be very hard to pass up. Very hard to pass up.
Yeah, like people with big time reputations are throwing out those numbers. It's not like some random Twitter handle is saying these numbers. So, yeah.
So then what beyond Sorsby returning, what needs to happen this offseason to break the November swoon and win 9+?
They better have a hell of a January in the portal.
Yeah.
Talent upgrades in the secondary and at edge rusher.
Somebody dying and leaving $380 million to the athletic program. That would help.
Or just Taylor Swift. Like, I mean, let's not fool ourselves.
It's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen.
Hey, man, it's Christmas. Let me dream.
I've read rumors that Pinto has voiced some displeasure at the current state of football/basketball. Is Cunningham on the hot seat?
The Pinto pipeline?
I think from what I saw of that, I think he just said, like, we're not doing enough to be really good. Like, we've got to be better. Like, look, they're both. I mentioned this Wednesday night. Like, both of these things can be true. Cincinnati was going to need a ramp-up time to get up to speed in the Big 12, and we're at the end of that ramp-up time. right? Like both of those things can be true. There is an understanding that it was going to take a little while to get there. Like you put the directions into MapQuest,
Mm-hmm.
and it tells you how long it's going to take. You may think you can get there faster. There might be an accident along the way, and it takes a little longer to get there. But there's a reasonable amount of time that it should take to get up to speed when you are jumping a conference. I think we are at that point. And 3 seasons is more than enough to acclimate yourself into your new league and to start expecting to move up into the upper portions of said league. Or maybe you're not ready to win it yet, but you're in a position where in November you're in the conference championship hunt, which the football team was this year. Which it's unfortunate that they fell apart at the end of the year because they have lost any positive momentum that they should have had from the fans being, like, let's be honest, the Arizona game, if you were a little deflated at that point, sure. But all the way to the BYU game, they had one conference loss, and if they were to win out, they would have been playing in Dallas to get their ass kicked by Texas Tech. Like that was a very real path. And then they lost. Just being honest, right? Like, am I wrong? And then they lost the BYU game, and because they lost the 2 after that, everybody is soured on things. That's understandable. That's your prerogative. I get it. I get why fans are upset. But there have been.
They just lost 1 after.
No, they lost BYU, then, or was Arizona before BYU? No.
Arizona's before. They controlled their destiny going into Arizona.
Yeah.
And then
they lost
then
Arizona. Whatever the order was. But you had a chance to really feel, okay, I feel good about the direction of things. Cincinnati was playing for a spot in Dallas in November. And all of that goodwill is gone because you lost those 4 games in a row. But that should be now more of the standard, right? If it's not winning the Big 12 every year, because right now there's other programs that are in a better position. They're on a little bit more stable ground to be there in terms of actually winning it. But you should expect, if you're a fan, that you get to November and you've got a chance to play for a championship. And I think that's what Pinto is probably reflecting, the same as everybody else. All right, the ramp-up period to get acclimated to the Big 12 has come and gone. Now it's time to really put ourselves in a better position to expect to be contenders. Even if you're not championship level yet, you shouldn't be hanging out in 10th, 11th, 12th place regularly in both programs. Football finished what? Tied for 7th? So there is some progress there. Basketball? Oh, boy. There's going to be a lot of Chad and Aaron yelling at each other, and there might not be. There might just be. There might just be. I don't know, Aaron. I don't know what to say.
Giving up.
I don't know what to say.
All right. That ends the football portion of the mailbag. Let's move into the basketball portion. This would be a lot more fun there, right? With regards to the lack of physicality on the roster, do you believe this to be due to the players we are recruiting, our play style, or the Monster Factory not being quite what we thought it was?
I don't think there's a lack of physicality on the roster. I think there might be a lack of toughness, effort.
Synergy. I loved how you put that together in your little monologue you had earlier.
That's true, but that is also the video platform to watch the highlights broken down for each play. It's synergy as well.
I don't know. I don't have any issues with Rayfelt. I think they're they're recruiting a different type of player. So it's not going to look like what Mick's teams look like because Mick didn't go long and lean for a lot of his guys. He went more broad shoulders, like hugs, physical,
Yeah.
I don't think physicality is the issue. I think effort, toughness, in-game toughness, where you grind over 10 minutes to turn a 13-point deficit into a 1-point lead, and then you finish it. You get across the finish line. You don't, nobody cares if you're running a race and you're running a marathon and you see the chute and there's 200 meters left, and at 150 meters you pull ahead and then you fall down and you need medical attention and the other person gets across the finish line first.
Okay.
And you're just laying there 75 yards from the finish line with doctors looking over you.
Wow. Okay.
You need medical attention. Right now,
Bob
you need
Mangine.
some medical attention.
It's Bob Mangine. I'm in.
There he is up there.
The goat.
No, that's Greg Gooden.
Oh, it looks like Bob. It looks like Bob because I got a small screen.
You think we just had a random picture of Bob Mangine up in the corner of the screen?
The mailbag brought to you by Bob Mangine.
Oh my gosh.
Well, actually, the
apologies,
mailbag
Mr.
brought to you
Hood.
by Greg Hooden, who was in the Bearcat costume next to Bob Mangine.
Yeah, that's
Man,
that's
highlight of the day. You
bad
even made
move by
Aaron
me.
laugh. You made Aaron laugh on that one, Ryan, and he's been Mr. Grumpy Pants all night.
He has.
That's all I'm here for, man.
All right,
Top-notch
agree or
basketball, and then
The beacon
making
of
Aaron
light.
laugh.
Agree or disagree? Wes overplayed the roster construction issues and lacked some accountability and scheme/philosophy changes needed. Right now, I'd take last year's team to beat UC. You're crazy.
Yeah, I strongly disagree.
I mean, I don't think it's that crazy, if I'm being honest. I think it would be an interesting game, to put it lightly.
Are both teams coached by Wes Miller?
No.
How does that work? You can't do that.
What would happen if they were?
I think this year's team wins.
By
I
a
think
lot.
it'd be a fascinating game to watch. It would be.
Does last year's team get to keep Drew Adams controlling a large portion of the offense?
Sure.
Okay, then maybe I will take last year's team.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it's just
You just don't want things to be awkward in Bloomington.
No, I see last year's team was 100 in offense, and this one's like 315.
yeah.
So
All right. What would you consider the number one reason Xavier has dominated the shootout the last 20 years?
They've protected home court. Like when it's at their place, they treat it like the biggest game of the season.
And outside of a couple of games, they have had the better team.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'd have to go back, but I'd say for like 60% of the games, they've definitely had the better team.
I think it's probably more than that.
I don't think so. I mean, what are you classifying as the better team?
Just like on paper.
I mean, most years Cincinnati has finished with a better Ken Palm than Xavier.
Right. I mean, I'm looking at 23, they were 22, they were 21, they were, I don't know. It just, it's not like, I guess 20 years is a long time, but it's seemingly not, it wasn't like it was in the early, late 90s, early 2000s, where like Cincinnati was far and away the better team on paper.
Yeah, I mean they're much closer now.
Some upsets, yeah.
But like if you get back to like when both teams were on solid ground, in 2020 Cincinnati was one spot higher. In 2019 Cincinnati was 29, Xavier was 65. In 2018, Cincinnati was 4, Xavier was 15. In 2017, Cincinnati was 23. Xavier was 31.
Yeah.
They've been pretty even.
2015, Xavier 21, Cincy 44.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14, Cincinnati was 27, Xavier 52.
Right.
13, Cincinnati was 40, Xavier was 78. 12, Cincinnati was 31, Xavier was 53.
Yeah.
Like
So,
oftentimes, Cincinnati has been the quote unquote better team, but they're close.
yeah.
And especially in the games that are played there, they want it more.
Mhm.
They play better. And Cincinnati plays tight, gets down big early. Xavier makes shots. Cincinnati doesn't. For most of those times, Cincinnati would have like a period where they would like claw back and like get it back to almost, and then Xavier would squash it and win the game. Like Xavier is just it when the games have been at Fifth Third, it's been pretty close. UC's won some, Xavier's won some. When the games have been at Cintas, it's been a war, and in that war, Cincinnati has been poor, decidedly poor.
Over under on 5.5 Big 12 wins.
If I said over, I'd be lying to say I would be comfortable with it.
I think they'll win 6 at least.
I'm under. Solid under.
That's crazy. What, 6 and 14?
Right now, there are only 3 teams below Cincinnati in KenPom: West Virginia, Kansas State, and Utah. Arizona State,
insane.
Colorado, TCU, UCF, and Oklahoma State have all moved ahead of Cincinnati from where things started.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a handful of teams that are not good in the Big 12, and
Cincinnati's one of them.
one of them. Yeah. So
5 wins is a gift.
I mean,
KenPom has the Big 12 wins as Colorado at home, West Virginia at home, UCF at home, Utah at home, and Oklahoma State at home. So they have Cincinnati going 5-4 at home in the Big 12 and 0-9 on the road.
I give them 3 of those, and that's about it.
Yeah, you're Mr. Dumpy Pants today, so
you are grumpy pants. I'm taking the over 5.5.
Come on, Brent.
Let's go,
Don't
baby.
lose.
Mark our words. 6 wins, baby. Come on.
Or
Don't lose to
more.
Eastern Michigan. And our leading scorer is averaging 13.9 points per game. Dede Thomas. Is that enough points per game as team's top scorer to win in the Big 12 when 7 of the top 8 teams in the conference have 2 players averaging more than 17.4 points per game? P.S. There are 20 players in the Big 12 averaging more than 15.3. BYU has 3 players averaging more than 16.9.
it's possible. It's not great. It's not likely. You need somebody, I think you need a minimum 15, 16 point a game scorer, and then a sidekick that's at like where Dede is, 13, 14, somewhere in that range.
I mean, like
As the minimum
right, are they saying to
requirement
like be like a top
to be one of the
team in
top
Big
6
12?
teams in the league.
Yes, you do need like historically you've seen the top teams in the Big 12 have had an NBA player on their roster, and then like a really good college guy or a couple NBA players, and then a couple good college guys. So
I mean, didn't we go through this on the preseason show when I went through the Big 3 at Iowa State and the Big 3 at Arizona and the first 4 guys at BYU and the first 4 guys now with Kingston Flemings at Houston and Kansas with Peterson and Badunga and Texas Tech with Obi Toppin and Christian Anderson. Baylor's even kind of up there with Cam Carr and
Daniel Skillings. I'm joking. Yasufu. Tusande Yasufu.
like you need some fire, some serious firepower at the top of your roster to compete in this league, which is why when we talked about this team at the beginning, I was worried then because they don't have the firepower to compete with the top 6 or 7 teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying this the whole time.
Yeah.
Currently, Day Thomas is on track to become a 1,000-point scorer for UC. That said, in the NIL era, do you think he will be the last?
No. There'll be guys stay for 3 years, which is
this might be a while if you have a coaching change.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yes, but also, I mean, Jizzle was on pace for it too, so it's like not that crazy. Like, you just need like a decent player to stay 3 years, and you're gonna hit 1,000 points. So
you get a really good freshman that's not like an NBA
right
type guy, comes in, stays for 3 years, scores. I mean, really, all you need is to average over those 3 years 10 points a game.
Right.
So your first year, maybe it's 7 or 8, and then it's 13 or 14. But then, if you do hit on somebody that can be a 14, 15 point a game scorer, it reduces that a little bit. So, yeah, there will be others. But, I mean, now, is there going to be a Sean Kilpatrick that scores 2,000?
I mean, like,
probably going to take a while.
Right, but it could happen, though, if you find one that, like, loves playing for Cincinnati or like loves playing for that university, because SK wasn't the prototypical NBA guy, so he's not leaving early. But I guess
he could have hit the portal.
Some suitors would come, but like you got to love the school you're at. You got to love it. Like,
or
God, if Tyler McKinley could like blow up and score more, I think he'd be, if they
start to give. Jesus Christ.
What?
They start to give you just
so mad tonight.
Yeah.
If his long pause.
Golly, you're on delay. So just talk.
No, I'm not. Anyway.
It's a podcast. Go.
Anyway.
Go.
Point. I don't even care anymore. Wes portaling this year to get tougher. UC got bullied by the Geico caveman of Norwood. How in the actual fuck are we going to get to survive Big 12 play? I'm terrified.
Yeah.
For all you listeners out there, UC alum did not say the F word. He said
he should have.
Well, it censors it if you say it on the message board. So you might have wanted to, but it wouldn't have said it. You would have just gotten 4 stars.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
If you spent time on the message board, you'd know that. You could post there every now and again, but
I'll start to if you want me to. I just honestly don't like crying midday.
Yeah. I'm worried about Big 12 play. UC alum 08. I think we all are. We all are. Except Brent. He thinks they're going to get more than 6 wins.
Well, because there's this guy that plays for this team. His name is Joshua Jefferson. He's like the caveman times 10. So
yeah. He's going to watch that Xavier tape and just salivate.
Yeah.
Forgive me if this has been answered in the past. Can you explain the role of each of the main assistant coaches? Each of the main assistant coaches plays: recruiting, scouting, offense, defense, etc. More specifically, what area of expertise each one of them brings?
Not really. Dollar's the recruiting guy. It's not as much offense, defense as it is like they work with a position group. I know Dollar works some with the bigs and the forwards. Morgan works with the guards and the wings. Obviously, Njai has come in. So he's shifted and done more of the big man stuff. That's moved the other guys up. They all take turns scouting, doing scouting reports. So everybody, it's more of a everybody chips in. It's not like college football where this guy coaches quarterbacks and this guy, that's just not. Now you're seeing some in college basketball go to like this guy runs, an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator, but it's not very common. You'll have certain guys that are exceptionally good at one thing that they come in and do. But there's not like a determined, this guy's the offensive coordinator, this guy's the defensive coordinator. Maybe there should be. Maybe if you're really good coaching defense and you need your offense to be better, you go find somebody that's a better offensive mind to run your offense. But yeah.
That's the end of the basketball portion of the mailbag.
Okay.
One last question here in the banks. In elementary school, what game and gym got you fired up to play? For me, it was tetherball until I got hit in the face with the ball and it broke my glasses.
What? What the hell is tetherball?
Dodgeball.
You've never seen tetherball with the string and the ball tied to the string and you spin it around the pole?
Punch it?
Oh, that thing. That was at gym? That was at recess.
We had one in gym.
Oh, cool.
Dodgeball. Kickball was pretty dope too.
Yeah.
Because you get to throw the ball, the big red bouncy ball. You get to throw it at people as they were running the bases.
Yeah.
But that was just dodgeball in a different form.
Yeah.
The answer is dodgeball without question.
I liked basketball, where
Sure, but like I played
you
like
get split up in teams of 3, and you're like, I'm one of the biggest kids in the whole school right now. Let's get a little post action on my little buddy Dave. He can't guard me in the post.
but we played basketball all the time, like in my buddy Jason's backyard, at the church. Like basketball was something we did. Like what other times did you play dodgeball and kickball?
So he's looking at like the big rainbow thing where you like throw it up in the air and you run underneath it.
Did you guys play Red Rover in gym? Ryan, you know what Red Rover is?
Yes.
I do. I can't.
Red Rover.
Yeah,
Send Ryan on over.
And then you sprint, and then they would clothesline the shit out of you, and you had to try to break their hands apart.
Steal the bacon.
Like now we're talking about like neighborhood games.
That's what we did in gym.
Capture the flag.
In gym, that's what we did in gym
too. Yeah.
Sure. I mean,
gym was a lot different in the 80s and early 90s.
You got injured.
Volleyball.
1,000% you got injured.
You guys played volleyball and basketball. No, we played games that people got hurt.
Chad, did
Are
you
kids still playing capture the flag nowadays? Aaron, are your kids playing?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
Gosh, that game was pretty damn loaded, wasn't it?
Brent, you ever played jarts?
Yeah.
Darts with
Chad.
No.
Did you have a cargo net at your gym where you had to climb the cargo net, but there was no like safety net underneath?
Nothing.
You put a mat down that was about this thick. Yeah. It's about this thick. If you're falling, you're dead. Like you're just dead.
You're holding on because you know your actual life depends on it.
Yeah. We did it with the rope, like just one rope.
Yeah, we did that too.
Yeah.
No, jart. You never heard of jart sprint?
No.
Lawn darts.
So it was like this big, okay?
Yeah.
But this big.
That's massive.
And it was like a dart, but it was like that big around, and you had these rings that you had to throw it in, and it had to stick, right?
Oh, okay.
But instead, with kids, you would just take it and like launch it up into the air.
Yeah.
And then everybody scattered because then there was a missile.
Coming down.
Coming, like they had to eventually ban it because it literally killed people.
Oh gosh. Well then, no, thank you.
I
did not play that
dart
game.
in your neck.
There's the adult version of that now, where you just like put like a beer can in front of you, and you like and you put your feet out next to the beer can with no shoes on, and you throw a dart, and if someone busts your beer can open, you gotta drink it real fast.
I mean, cornhole is just jarts, but with beanbags instead of
Safer.
very, very dangerous metallic objects that can literally send you to the hospital immediately.
That's the mailbag. Get us out of here, Brent.
Royer, what was your favorite game back in elementary gym class?
I said dodgeball. You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a dodgeball.
Were you pretty elite at dodgeball?
I don't really remember. I just remember having fun.
Cat,
I mean, I was a good athlete, so I was probably decent at it.
I vibe with that. All right, well, guys, we did it. How about that? The show following the sadness is done. We did it. Wow. Proud of you guys. We have one basketball game this week. There's no football games this week. There's only one basketball game this week, so we're going to get excited about that basketball game and hope that it's a reason for us to bounce back and become happy again next Monday. So stay locked into Bearcat Journal. Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
So happy Chad's muted right now.
Aaron, you turn that frown upside down, buddy.
Yeah.
I got family Christmas this weekend. I'll be good.
Oh, you're going to hate life even more.
Family
Can't
Christmas this weekend. Make sure one of that is focused on crowd around the TV come 2:00 on ESPNU.
I'll be in Indy, Brett. I'll be in Indy.
Oh, I will not.
I know.
1 week too late. Damn it, Aaron. Anyway.
Damn it, Brent.
We've got one game this week. Bearcat Journal will have you covered leading up to that one. Bowl game in the distance, but it is coming. And plenty of more between now and then. So make sure you stay locked into Bearcat Journal for everything. So shouts to Danco Transmission and Auto Care. Shouts to Believe. Shouts to Cincy Light. Shouts to Quick Paper Supply. Shouts to Greg Hooden. And shouts to my man. That's right, Ryan Royer. But for the guys, for the screw, well, yeah, and for the crew as well. Yeah, yes. Yeah, that's you, Aaron. Aaron Smith, Chad Brendel, Ryan Royer. I am Brent Young. Yet again, another fantastic BBP presented by BearcatJournal.com.